Pump control panels operate and monitor all the system functions of your pump station. At PPS, our pump control panels are pre-wired and programmed at the factory and include a PLC interface allowing you to access, monitor, and control all operational aspects of your pump station. In this video, we are going to identify the different menu items and screen options available in our control panel PLC. We'll explain what each one does and show you how to easily navigate and use the PLC to monitor and control the operation of your pump station. So if you are ready to go, let's get started. We will begin with the PLC's main screen interface. The name of the pump station, temperature of the panel, and time and date can be found at the top of the main screen. Note, you can click on the panel temperature or the time to adjust those settings individually. The 5 buttons, Main, Trend, Faults, Menu, and Language, are the main screen navigation buttons. The Language button is just a symbol, but is still pressable like the other blue buttons. The main status bar will tell you the overall status of the system. The first fault or alarm will show up here and remain until the fault alarm has been reset. If the fault can be reset from the screen, then a reset button will appear next to the fault status. In some cases, like a breaker trip, the breaker will need to be reset in order to remove the fault. If your system has a demo mode symbol on the screen, then the system will need to be activated in order to prevent any unwanted shutdowns of the system. This can be accomplished by calling PPS with the information from your panel sticker located on the inside of the panel door. If there is a locked symbol on the screen, then you must have password credentials to navigate the screens and adjust the settings. Any button that is blue can be pressed. This is usually for navigation or mode changing purposes. If there is a status associated with an item on the screen, it will be displayed as well. Any numeric value or character in a white box with a yellow border is a variable that can be adjusted by clicking on it. Some buttons are action buttons if they contain a phrase like turn derivative on, and when pressed should do that action. These buttons are usually green or yellow. Any value that is blinking is currently in a state where it is exceeding maximum or minimum alarm limits. Those can be adjusted in their respective settings area. All non-prime pumps in the station will be located on the right side of the main screen. The lead pump is indicated by lead next to the pump it is associated with. Any pump that is operating on a VFD will have the following parameter values located underneath the status. When you navigate to any one of the pump settings by clicking on the blue button, you will have a screen that shows you the runtime. If you replace a motor, you should reset the runtime to the associated motor pump. Here, you can also access all settings that are associated with said pump. For instance, the permissive screen shows you what is preventing a pump from running in a visual way. If the system is equipped with filters, intake screen valve, fill valve, primer pump, or master valve, they can all be found in the system auxiliary device area. The sensors will always be on the left side of the screen below the auxiliary devices. Next, we will review the Plc Trend Screen. You can access the Trend Screen via the main menu button at the top of the main screen. On the Trend Screen, you will be able to look at the values of different components of your system at a given point in time. Note, the trend interval can be adjusted. The timeline controls for the trend log are located at the bottom of the Trend Screen. When you press the pause button, you will be able to jump the cursor forward or back 10 intervals. Or you can run the cursor forward or back using the fast forward or rewind buttons. When pause is pressed, it will display a line that represents a trend interval in time. The date and time are stamped at the bottom of this line. The values of the devices at the bottom represent the values at the particular trend time. Next, we will review the Plc Fault Log. The fault log will show the fault occurrences in order from the most recent. The date and timestamp of the occurrence is on the left, and the recovery date and time is on the right. Any fault that is highlighted in red is a current fault, while all of the rest are recovered faults. You can press on any fault that will highlight the fault and make it the current selection. Once highlighted, you can press the Diagnose button to find out more information about the fault. Once you have a fault highlighted, you can also use the Up or Down button to select other faults in the list. Next, we will review the PLC Menu Screen. You can access the Menu Screen button from the top of the main screen. The menu screen has most of the functional settings of the system all in one place. Aside from Remote Mode and Fill Mode, page 1 of the menu has settings that can be accessed from other areas in the PLC. If you press Next, that will take you to page 2 where you can access special settings. This is also where you will find the firmware version of your PLC and HMI. Additionally, you can select the I/O status button to access the I/O status. The I/O status will help diagnose whether a signal is making it to the controller. This can help with diagnosing problems with the system. I0 through I57 are the respective inputs on the PLC, and Q0 through Q57 are the respective outputs on the PLC. If the input or output is highlighted green, then it is currently active. Next, we will review the PLC PID settings. If you have the pump station's operator password and know what you are doing with PIDs, you can access the PID settings screen and make adjustments to the control. Next, we will review the PLC Password Settings. The password screen will allow you to lock out the system with a custom numeric password. Next, we will review the PLC Activation Screen settings. The activation screen is where you can remove demo mode. Next, we will review the PLC email settings. The email screen is where you can set up alerts if the pump station has an activated modem. If equipped with an active modem, you can enter up to 3 email addresses that receive alarm alerts. The configuration screen will allow you to set up your SMTP server. If you do not have one, you may press Set Default and it will set up a SMTP server we have purchased specifically for customers to use. Next, we will review the PLC Clock Settings. Access this screen to set the clock. Next, we will review the PLC Load and Save parameters. This is where you will access the loading, saving, and backup parameters. If there is a Save Factory Defaults button, when pressed, it will save the current settings of the system. It is the permanent baseline settings for the whole system. Load and Save user defaults can be overwritten. If you have your system set but would like to make some adjustments, this will allow you to save the current setting and then load the previous settings back in if your new settings don't work out properly. This can also be used for saving a state of settings that you like. Backup management deals with flash memory. The system gets automatically backed up once every week to a flash memory. In the event anything happens to the system, you are able to restore a saved setting state even if your PLC gets damaged or ruined. It is also a benefit if your internal PLC battery dies and you lose your volatile memory. Next, we will review the PLC Language Settings. When you press the language symbol, it will take you to a screen where you can change the language. Simply select any available language and push the corresponding button. Note, any secondary selected language that is either not locked or left idle for 30 minutes will automatically revert back to the default English language. Thank you for your time to learn more about the operation of our PLC. Our goal is to provide you with a straightforward interface combined with comprehensive control and monitoring. We believe features such as automated system backups, email fault alerts, consistent firmware updates, and universal cross-compatibility with all of our custom pump systems make the Precision Pumping System PLCs the best in the industry.